Good morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always, told out of voice for radio. So today, we need to take a little bit of a look at some, well, it's not particularly good news, but it's one that I've had a bunch of people get in touch with me today asking me to talk about, and it's stuff that I do think we need to have a little bit of a look about, though it's not necessarily usually the kind of thing I would come and do a whole bunch of information about. Essentially, stores today have received their numbers, their allocation for the upcoming Shining Fates expansion of the Pokemon trading card game, and to put it bluntly, the numbers aren't looking great. This set is, by all reports, being heavily allocated. Now, I must preface this by saying I am not a store owner. I do not sell cards. The information I am giving you is coming from, well, it's kind of like 4 stores I've been chatting to today, and the information is being amalgamated from them. That is to say, I am not guaranteeing perfect information. I am giving you the best information I can at the moment, based on the information I have available to me. However, like I say, I've spoken to a few different stores this morning, and the information does seem to track between stores, so I think we've got a pretty good idea of them. Now remember, this is not a set which is being released in the usual way. What we are essentially having here is one of those sets, like Champion's Path before it, where you cannot just go and buy booster packs or booster boxes. You buy a product that has got booster packs in, and those are the products which are being talked about today. Now, it is important to note we are only today talking about the sets which are coming out on February the 19th. Specifically, we're referring to the tins, the Elite Trainer boxes, the Pikachu V boxes, and the Mad Party collections. Things like the V Max collections, I am psyched about them. They look amazing, but they're not actually coming out until March the 5th, so the allocations haven't been released for them, so we don't know what's going on. And I do kind of pride myself on being somebody who talks about stuff we know, or engages heavily in reckless speculation, while being super clear it's reckless speculation. Today we are focusing on what we know, and we only know about the first wave of products. So when I say heavily allocated, what am I referring to? Well, like I say, the numbers I've got are not great, and they come from a variety of sources, but let's be clear, we're still talking a fairly small sample size, but it tracks between them. And it seems to be that most stores are receiving 10 Elite Trainer boxes. I know a few stores that have put in requests for hundreds of these, 500 plus, and they've been allocated 10. And so far, all the stores I've spoken to, though again, does need to be borne in mind this is far from perfect information, they have all been allocated 10, so it seems like the majority of sellers are essentially being allocated 10 of these, regardless of how many they ordered. It's not all terrible news, we'll get there in a minute, hang on, we're going through everything nice and methodically. In terms of the tins, again, now these are the Cramorant, Boltund, and Eldegoss tins that look awesome, and it seems to be that stores are generally being allocated 1 case of these tins. 1 case is 6 tins, presumably 2 Eldegoss, 2 Boltund, 2 Cramorant. Regardless of how many cases are being ordered, it seems like 1 case is being allocated per store. Now, in terms of the Pikachu V Collections, these seem a little bit better here. The Pikachu V Collections seem to be allocated at somewhere in the region of 50%. That is to say, stores are getting roughly half of what they've ordered. But you'll notice, although it comes with a Pikachu promo, it doesn't come with the shiny promo that we saw in the tins, or the Eevee V Max promo we see in the Elite Trainer box. So that is to say that, generally speaking, this is a less sought after product, and that means that it's going to be less ordered, so there's less demand, so the supply is able to keep up a little bit better. In terms of the Mad Party collections, the stores I've spoken to have received the allocation they asked for the Mad Party collections, though I have spoken to a couple of them who basically said, yeah, we didn't order very many of these, and honestly, they were the hardest ones to take pre-orders for. These were the hardest ones to sell. One store I spoke to said that they only started really getting pre-orders for these when they packaged up all 4 of them in a little bit of a bundle. And that was when they actually started to get people interested. These are the ones we get an alternate art Mad Party promo with the pin and the free packs. So it seems like packs of Shining Fates are going to be out there. It seems like the Mad Party collections are going to be fairly easy to find, and the Pikachu V boxes are going to be out there. But it seems like the Tins and Elite Trainer boxes are going to be difficult to find. Remember that this is a very sought after set, and a bunch of stores are going to have been taking pre-orders on this. So what that essentially means is, if you haven't gotten a pre-order in at your store, maybe go and do so now. And this is a really important point. A lot of stores have not been taking pre-orders because they didn't want to take pre-orders until they had their allocation. Allocations have started going out now, at least especially in the UK. So get in touch with your local game store. They may well be able to hook you up. Similarly, some online sellers may be releasing inventory today or over the next couple of days. So keep an eye, because even if they've got reduced allocation, if it's there, they're going to put it up, they're going to go and try and sell it. So do get onto them sooner rather than later. So of course then the question becomes, and this is something I've been asked by a lot of people over the last couple of hours, why is this happening, Wassy? Why is the allocation so strict and so small? And for those of you that don't know, as well as being a TCG dude who apparently talks about TCGs mostly for their living, which is still super weird, I am also a professional business teacher, so I can give you some information here. One thing that needs to be borne in mind super clearly: if you are not someone who works for Pokemon in the relevant department, you ain't going to have all the information. And it is largely speculation, but I'm hoping that my research gives me a slightly better insight than people who haven't done so much research into business generally. And clearly one of the main issues here is COVID. Production and distribution for every card game, and to be fair, every product, just got massively more difficult. Over in a different card game that we do cover on my other channel, Wassy Plays, Digimon, we have seen a lot, well, not a lot, that's an exaggeration, but we have seen a couple of posts from Digimon who have basically come out and said, look, COVID has hit our production and COVID has hit our distribution. Digimon have basically come out and said, we, because of COVID, are not able to actually offer either the amount we wanted or at the right time. So just a couple of weeks ago, they delayed the official release of Booster 1.0 and 1.5 in a lot of territories, and they came out and explicitly said it's because of COVID-19. And I know a lot of people don't want to take that as a reason, and for those people, I'm sorry. But the fact of the matter is, factories are working at massively reduced capacity, distribution is far more difficult. This isn't a coincidence. And then to go along with that, Pokemon is really popular right now. Like, Pokemon is going through a boom period now, which, not on the level of when Pokemon Go came out, but Pokemon is in a very boom period at the moment. The Pokemon trading card game as a whole has been super popular over the last few months, and sets have been selling out left, right and centre. And it's partly because some well-known YouTubers have been stoking the fires, but it's partly because Champions Path ignited a lot of people's interest in the game. And of course we got Pokemon 25 coming up, that 25th anniversary celebration, which is getting people all excited about Pokemon again. Fact of the matter is, Pokemon is popular right now. And when you combine the popularity of Pokemon as a brand with the difficulty of production and distribution in a pandemic world, that goes a very long way to describing why we're seeing the allocation of these sets. You are going to see, I guarantee it, you are going to see over the next few weeks dozens of people going, simple supply and demand. No, it's not simple supply and demand. It's supply and demand, but it's far from simple. This isn't just a case of a few more people wanted it so supply couldn't keep up. We are talking about the biggest supply disruption we have seen in decades, combined with a massive boom in popularity for the brand and the game as a whole, and that is all combining into almost a perfect storm. And that is why we've seen the allocation that we're seeing on these sets. Yes, there is also an issue here with scalpers, people deliberately buying up everything they can find to sell at an increased price because of the difficulty of getting the products. I don't want to talk much about scalpers in this video, we've mentioned this before. If you can, and I know not everybody can, and I understand and I appreciate that, but if you can, please ignore them. If we don't buy from scalpers, they will go away. If we leave them with a lot of stock that they've bought that they can't shift, and they have to sell at RRP or below just to get rid of it, it's not going to be worth their time and effort. They're going to end up losing money on it. So please, please, please try and buy from stores that are selling at RRP if it's possible, and I know for everyone it's not going to be. And please ignore the scalpers, because if we keep buying from scalpers, we keep giving them incentive to keep scalping products. And essentially, instead of going into a shop and buying a product, you're going to go online and buy products from someone who got to the shop 5 minutes before you did and bought them all so that he can make a quick profit off of you, which I don't like. But is it all doom and gloom? No, it really isn't all doom and gloom. The fact of the matter is, this is the first wave, the first allocation. If we go back to Champions Path, when this released, it was very, very difficult to get hold of Elite Trainers boxes. It just was. These things were very difficult to actually find. Back in September, it was hard to get a Champions Path Elite Trainer box, and again, these got scalped massively. But I've been seeing a lot of people on Facebook over the past couple of months, especially the past few weeks, selling stacks of these for RRP or thereabouts. I've spoken to friends who sell online, who have basically told me that over the last few weeks, they've gotten a bunch more Champions Path Elite Trainer boxes in. Yeah, they were hard to get in September, and I know you don't want to wait until the following January, but supply of that kept coming. These kept finding their way out, and people have kept being able to buy them. To the point where you didn't really need to go and pay scalpers for these. You might have needed to wait, which I know not everybody wants to, but supply of these kept coming. And what I'm hearing from some of the people I've spoken to this morning is that there are going to be waves. This is essentially wave 1. And although we don't know when the next waves are coming, or what the allocation will be for those waves, what I'm hearing is that more waves are coming. And even if we hadn't heard that, of course more waves are coming. Why would there not be more waves coming? Pokemon is a profit-making business. They want to sell cards. So if things are selling, they're going to print more. And over time, these products will be easier and easier to find. And I'm like you, I want them now. I have put in my pre-order at my local game store for February the 19th, and I'm crossing my fingers it gets fulfilled. I know it might not. I know that what I've ordered might end up being cut back, and I will be gutted if it is. But these things happen. Will I get what I ordered on February the 19th? I don't know is the honest answer. Will I get what I ordered? Yeah. My local game store hooked me up. I hope it's on the 19th of Feb, but if it's not, then during the second wave or the third wave, they'll hook me up. They'll give me a shout, and it will be out there, and I'll go and pick them up, and it will be fun, and there will be openings on this channel, and everything will be lovely. You're going to see a lot of doomsayers over the next couple of weeks in regards to Shining Fates, and the answer is, it's a super popular product, or series of products, being released during a global pandemic when supply and distribution is near impossible to actually do like you want to. Yes, of course, there's going to be some allocation. More will be printed, more will be released. Look at Champions Path. You might not get what you want on release day, but it will be out there. And just as a quick end note here, I've already seen a bunch of people suggesting that maybe Pokemon are doing this to stoke demand. No! You don't need to try and artificially stoke demand for products which are massively in demand. That makes no sense. Yeah, let's just ignore that one, shall we? So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. That's what I know. That's what I can tell you. No, it's not great news initially, and that's a little bit sad. And yes, it is going to be difficult to find these products on release date. But speak to your local game store, especially over the next couple of days when allocation is going to start making its way into stores and people are going to be taking more pre-orders. And if you do miss out, keep looking. Things will still be coming back in. It's probably going to be okay. I don't know, maybe I'm just too cheery. People tell me I'm too cheery a lot. But all I can tell you is that Champions Path kept getting restocked at my local stores. and I saw a bunch of online places restocking it. And don't get me wrong, right, the restocks do sell out again. Champion's Path is still a massively popular set, but it kept coming back in, so if you wanted stuff, you just had to wait for the next restock. And I've already heard that people are expecting more waves of this and that they've been told it's going to happen, so not great news. But I think if you want to get these sets, you're going to be able to, just maybe not on release day. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, I want to know what you think about all this. Go nuts, and I think we need to say this more clearly than ever. Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWazzy, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCG Radio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that good stuff, head on over to patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can do exactly that. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.